ever heard this Albert Einstein quote? Knowledge is powerful, but imagination encircles the world. I've always loved that quote from Albert Einstein since I first came across it years and years ago, because I believe that's totally true. It doesn't matter how much you know, it matters how you imagine that the world works, how you view it, your worldview, and the strength of your imagination to see how you get from what you know now to where you want to be and what the steps are in between. Today, I want to talk exactly about that and help you cultivate your imagination on your financial journey. Welcome to the Wealth Wisdom Financial Podcast. We believe when conventional financial thinking doesn't get you where you want to go, you need wealth wisdom. If you're just joining us, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like, and we would love your comments on this video as well. Okay, so I've come to believe that imagination is one of the bedrocks of crafting a financial journey. Where we choose to look, right? How we cultivate our focus is very important. There are so many distractions, so many deterrents in a world and inside our own minds and hearts, right? There's squirrels living in there. How might we find and keep a worthy focus that's developed from our own imaginations? Now, most people either take on someone else's goals and dreams for their lives, or they live on autopilot without much intention or imagination as to where they really want to go. What I'm going to talk about is this idea of setting your sights. And that involves some imagination, it involves intention, it involves focus, right? And it happens to be stone number 1 in our 5 smooth stones methodology that we are currently, when you're hearing this, in the midst of a Kickstarter to pre-sell the actual journal. So you could pre-order it now, get some awesome rewards, including free shipping and other amazing things. So go check it out if you haven't yet. The link's in the show notes. It's wealthwisdomfp.com/shop. But what I want to talk about is this first stone, which is to set your sights. I believe before you do anything else with money, you have to first decide where you want to focus. What are you looking at? Where are you going? What do you imagine to be the better future you want? And I think if you get this stone figured out, you're going to be head and shoulders above most people. So what does setting your sights look like? Does it mean making SMART goals? Should you craft a life vision and mission statement that's in 5 words or less? Some say we should start with values so that we don't lose sight of our integrity. Maybe daydreaming and brainstorming is a good starting point so that you can give yourself permission to expand creatively and try something totally outside the box. To all those, I would say, sure, yes, all of those are good if they work for you and help you to be more intentional, imaginative, and focused. Now, what you're going to learn pretty quickly, if you haven't already yet, is that I'm a huge fan of trying out different things that work for other people, see what works for you. If it worked for them, maybe it could work for you. And always being open to learning and trying new things. I think that's part of what makes any money journey an exciting adventure. Now, that said, I will say, I think in terms of setting your sights can be very helpful. First of all, we set our physical sights every single moment. Right now, I'm looking at a camera. You're looking at me. We set our sights if you're watching on YouTube. If you're not, whatever you're looking at, maybe you're driving, you're looking at the road, but your eyes, if they're open, they're focused on something, and that focus can shift. But that means we've gained a lot of experience on how we can transfer what we see physically into what we see emotionally, mentally, socially, and yes, financially. When you set your sights in these other realms, you visualize with your mind's eye, and that makes it seem more real. So for example, imagine right now that you're in a plane flying above your head. Close your eyes if that's easier for you. What do you see? You're in the plane, you're looking down on your current location. What do you see? Hopefully you can imagine that pretty easily. And it's super easy to adjust your mind's eye and where it's looking and what you're focused on. Too many people get stuck in like a SMART goal that they feel they can't change it. But the biggest thing I love about setting your sights is that sights are editable. You can continually reset your sights to a more fitting destination. Or if you're scared of heights, get out of that plane right away and come back to real, like feet on the ground. But you could easily imagine your childhood home, or imagine the home you would love to live in, your dream home. The brain's capacity to imagine is way better than its ability to remember. We just get so out of practice with imagining as adults. So give your space whatever you need to build up this capacity again. And as you're looking to transform your financial story, remember those words from Albert Einstein. Knowledge is powerful, but imagination encircles the world. More financial know-how, like knowledge about how different things in the financial industry work, that's powerful. But your own imagination can help you in ways that the knowledge can't. So here's one of my favorite things about sights. When you're standing where you are now, let's say you're on a plane and you're looking at a mountain, you literally see differently than when you've walked a little bit and you're halfway up the mountain. Our family, we were in Colorado this summer for vacation, and we were driving more so because we had my mom and our son with us, so we weren't climbing too many mountains. But when we were driving to the mountain, that looked very different than we were driving along the road up the mountain. And as we were driving, you kind of have to, as driving, you're following the path that's been tread hundreds of years, I guess. They pave it, repave it, it's there. But if you were walking, you might actually see ways to adjust your trajectory as you see new and different paths you couldn't see before. You might even decide, hey, this mountain, it's not as awesome as I thought it was, and you change and go a entirely different direction to the mountain next door. Or, something like that. The goal isn't the mountain. If you're a mountain climber, the goal is to get to a worthy, self-fulfilling destination, to achieve a height that you can look out and say, look at how well I did. With money, it's to achieve a destination that you can imagine right now, but as you get closer to it, that destination is going to get clearer and clearer, and you might change a little bit of what that destination looks like. Your financial freedom is not just a mountain sitting there slowly, dwindling as, rain takes it away into the ocean or whatever. But it's a dynamic process, right? So the most important thing about setting your sights, though, and talking in this way, is that you realize you have to act. You want to go where you're looking, right? Just by looking at it, it builds that desire. And you know that when you start moving, that you're going to reach that desire, but also that desire, you're going to learn more about what it is, how it looks, you're going to change it, those kind of things. So that's stone one in the 5 smooth stones method. It's all about setting your sights. And we've got lots of questions. How cultivate. What are those sights? Start building that imagination muscle that hopefully you have. And then we build the other 4 stones on top of that. Because it doesn't matter what you do with, say, your net worth and how much assets you have versus debts, if those don't align with where you want to go and where you're setting your sights. So hopefully that was helpful to you in general. If you like that kind of way of thinking where you get to not just be given, you should become a millionaire or something like that, but you get to cultivate your own decision of what does success look like for you? What is your own definition of financial freedom? Then I think you're going to love the 5 smooth stones. We crafted this intentionally, and we know it's going to change people's financial destinies. So the Kickstarter, when you're hearing this, is live, and you're probably in the middle of it if you're getting this when the episode first comes out. So you're going to want to go and claim the best rewards while they're still available. And if you're not familiar with Kickstarter, it's a way to pre-sell a product to help fund the creation of that product. And the people who are the early supporters, they get certain rewards that aren't going to be available later. Now, if you are listening to this episode later, long after it airs in mid-September of 2023, the journal might already be here. You might actually be able to go ahead and order your copy. So we're going to give you one link that everybody can use, hopefully for all time, or as long as the internet exists. It's wealthwisdomfp.com/shop. Actually, www.wealthwisdomfp.com/shop, SHOP. And so that you can actually see a little bit of what that journal is, we're going to give you a preview of our promo video so you can see some real images, not just of the outside, but of the inside as well, and how we talk about who this is right for. So if you're watching on YouTube, you're going to see the whole thing. If you're listening on the podcast, you'll still hear it. But if you want to see it, you got to click that link in the description and go check it out. Are you tired of being boxed into limited options for your financial freedom journey? Your future deserves more than generic solutions. It's time to break free from rigid instructions and loss of control. Introducing 5 Smooth Stones, a hybrid book journal we crafted to empower high achievers like you. It's not just about money, it's about going after your big dreams. Say goodbye to feeling belittled or stressed. With 5 Smooth Stones, you're in control of your financial destiny. Crafted over a decade, the 5 Smooth Stones methodology has transformed lives. Our clients have embraced it, witnessing tremendous results. Now it's your turn to seize control and rewrite your financial story. Embrace quality, from vegan leather to lay flat binding to thick paper. Every detail matters. In a world of conventional cookie cutter advice, it's time for unconventional wisdom to build wealth on your terms. Your journey begins with a single step, one of enthusiasm and determination. Don't wait for the perfect moment, make now the moment. 5 Smooth Stones is not just a journal or a book. It's your financial roadmap toward freedom. Seize your financial future. Embark on a journey that's truly yours. Find out more and order your copy at www.wealthwisdomfp.com/shop. 5 Smooth Stones. There are no get-rich-quick schemes, but you can discover your path to build true wealth wisely. Okay, here's your chance. We're not going to put that promo in any other podcast. If you're a loyal listener, this might be the 3rd time you've seen or heard it. Thank you so much for being a loyal listener. No, you're not going to see or hear it again in future episodes. It'll be something different maybe when the actual products are here, the actual journals, like in a big stack in our office. But for now, go be part of this launch, be an early adopter. You'll get the first edition, you'll get free shipping, all kinds of really cool stuff. Particularly, I would ask you, in the middle of the Kickstarter is when we need the most help with sharing it with others. So if you know anyone in your life who's a high achiever, they got their stuff together, they're doing amazing in their career, with their family, with their volunteering, whatever it might be. You probably don't know their story with money. They could be doing great with money, but they might also be struggling because all their attention has been somewhere else, right? They've set their sights on this career path or this, certain way of existing as a family that they haven't set their sights on their money, right? And so they might want to get back into it. Please go to that Kickstarter page, share it out on your socials, send it as a text message to somebody that you care about. Help us get this out to more people, particularly those who maybe have been intimidated by how stressful and belittling the financial industry can be. We hope this is a breath of fresh air and a light along their path. Okay, thank you so much in advance for sharing. I look forward to talking with you in the next episode. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss it. We've got an amazing lineup for the rest of the fall here to help you break through to a smarter, more stable financial future. Again, give us a thumbs up and a comment on the YouTube. We'd appreciate that as well. And may you live long and profit. The topics presented in this podcast are for general information only and not for the purposes of providing legal, accounting, or investment advice. On such matters, please consult a professional who knows your specific situation.